All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you for a little bit. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. For those of you who are not aware, I'm still recovering from a sickness. That's the best way I can think of to put it. I'm still recovering. Excuse me. But, we'll get it there. We'll get it there. But come on in, say hi to me, because that's very important to me. Say hi to me, and yeah, that'll be that. Hold on, let me take this off. Okay, there it is. I have forgotten where I hung my coat. How's everybody doing? Not talking about Cat Williams today. I feel like I got it all off my chest yesterday, and we can move on. 513-717-5464. That's the number to get on board. 513-717-5464. Let me quickly go through the hellos. I'm going to say this like one time because I mean it for everybody. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for your support. All right. So we got Robert Willis. Good afternoon, Robert, and Miss Pittsburgh in the house. Good afternoon. We got Myosha. Good afternoon, Myosha. Jason. Hey, good afternoon, Jason. Appreciate you. Valerie. Good afternoon, Valerie. Good afternoon. Nick, representing Blue Ash. Y'all know I love it when y'all tell me where y'all checking in from or where y'all checking out the show from. Because technically you're not checking in, but you know what I mean. Nick is representing Blue Ash. Got Carolyn in the house. Good afternoon, Carolyn. Good afternoon. McConnell. McConnell say good afternoon. Hey, good afternoon. Diane. Diane, good afternoon. She's representing Covington. Got Anthony in the house. Good afternoon, Anthony. Tessie. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The Logic Slayer. I added the on there because it, feels right. Logic Slayer in the house. Good afternoon. Vincent. Vincent representing Sharon Woods. Interesting. Rick. Rick in the house representing Coleraine. Good afternoon, Rick. Andrea. Good afternoon, Andrea. We got Edward in the house. Edward says good afternoon. Still trying to get over this bug. Yeah. I understand. Candy D in the house. I don't know why I'm yelling and why I like to yell her name. I didn't like the way that sounded. Candy D in the house. All right. Cindy Hill. Good afternoon, Cindy. Good afternoon. She's checking in from her skin. All right. Hey, you got to be a little difficult sometimes. I understand. Shahara. Shahara, good afternoon. She's checking in from Mason. She's representing Mason. Tanya, or is it Tanya, in Missouri. All right. Well, thank you for checking us out all the way from Missouri. Maybe you'll give us some Missouri insight. We got Tria. Tria in the house. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Tria. Maria. Maria in the house, representing North College Hill. Got Miss Pittsburgh representing Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. All right. Pamela. Pamela, good afternoon. Checking in from North Avondale. Nate says Toledo in the house. All right, we got Toledo in the house. Sean. Sean, good afternoon, Sean. Good afternoon. Chelsea. Chelsea. She says hola. Well, hola to you too, Chelsea. Good afternoon. We got David in the house. David in the house. Let me see. He didn't say where he's checking in from around the way. I guess you can't beat that. Tan with an A, not Tan with an O. Okay, Tanya. I was right. Well, thank you for checking us out. Brenda, representing Fairfield. Can't beat that. We got David. David out there in Hebron, working at Amazon. No, I don't think he work at Amazon. People can live in Hebron too. Good afternoon, David. Got Sabrina. Brini checking us out from North College Hill. All right, North College Hill. Stephanie. Sounds like Heavy D. Hi, everyone. Hi, Stephanie. Got Angela. Oh, Angela in the house. You know where I am by now. Angela, I don't. I used to know, but you stopped putting it, so I now forgot. You know, I had coronavirus. It affects me still. Um, let's see. Let's see. Crystal, checking us out from Mount Healthy. Can't beat that, Angela Oakley. See, now I remember when you put it up there, Angela. That's how it worked. You know, I forget until somebody remind me. Dwayne in the house, representing Mount Airy. All right. So I want to talk about a few little things. Well, I didn't plan the show. Y'all know I work and then I come straight here and I try to stay up on everything that's going on as best as I can. Oh, and also forgive the voice. It's still weak. This cough ain't helping it. But I believe we're going to make it through. I see Mary in the house. Mary, good afternoon. Mary. Put that up there for anybody tuning in. My name is Emanuel Livingston. My title is the King of Talk. I didn't give myself that title. I earned it. And, you know, so I proudly display it. I'm debating about what I wanted, because there's a few things out there. Let me start with something just to kind of get me in the flow of talking. Vivica Fox. I saw a little piece on Vivica Fox where, you know, she's talking about Taraji P. Henson. I haven't even really talked about Taraji either. Okay, let me start off. Let me talk a little bit about Taraji. I feel a little different on this Taraji thing, I think, than most people. Look, I support, get as much money as you can for your craft, you know, whether you working in a meat packing plant, whether you working in the White Castles, whether you working in the Walmarts or the Krogers, if you acting, if you singing, if you dancing, if you teaching, whatever you do, I get as much money as you can for it. You know what you feel like you're worth. Chase that. Demand that. I do kind of have some issue with Taraji. It ain't even really with Taraji. It's with a mindset. There's a mindset that I have an issue with. For these celebrities. I have an issue with some of our celebrities thinking they better than us. I'm not necessarily saying that Taraji thinks she better. Someone has set a standard somewhere. And what Taraji is saying is, hold me to that standard. Or, you know, treat me at that same standard. That I respect. I just don't respect the standard. There's some things that she's saying, I can feel you. Like, look, I'm out here, I'm working. You know, when she was doing Empire, that was the hottest thing going. And if I understand what I heard her saying, what I've read, she felt like, look, my team didn't capitalize on when I was on Empire. They didn't capitalize on, you know, the popularity of that character or me as an actress. She said she fired the whole team. Because when Empire was done, they didn't have nothing set up. They didn't take advantage of that. That, I'm cool with that. But it was some of the other stuff that she, like, the breakdown crying moment. And I'm trying to be, it's 2024. Stop. The breakdown crying moment bothered me. Okay, if I make $10 million, then the government is taking half of that. So that's $5 million. And then my team is taking 30% of that or 35% of that. So that just leaves me with. And when I hear people, again, I know there's different levels, and I think the world is kind of upside down. Like, I think teachers and stuff like that should be making the $10 million. And actors and athletes should be making the, you know, $75,000. But that's me and how I value stuff. That's me and how I value stuff. That's not the world. The world values things differently. But think about it if it were the other way. And this will help you see where I'm coming from. If things were the other way and teachers was making $10 million a year, right? And then some teacher come out like, I feel like I'm not making enough because the government take half of that. And then I'm only left with this, $3 million instead of the $10 million. And everybody else making $75,000 on the high end of just your regular run-of-the-mill person. What are you saying about those of us who making less? Didn't Taraji just buy like almost $5 million house? How the F you crying about your income when you just bought a $5 million house? Again, look, don't get me wrong. I understand in the context of the career and the field that she's in. But I think some of the arguments that I heard her making, just from an outsider listening to it. Look, I'm with you when you're talking about discrepancy in the way that, different people get paid in your industry. I'm with you. But then when you break down crying, basically crying broke, but you got money to buy a $5 million house, that bothers me. Because it's like, hold on, if you're crying broke, shouldn't I be crying? I should be crying like a mug because I should be crying like crazy. You should be crying probably. Did you buy a $5 million house in the last few years? You're terribly underpaid. You know what I'm saying? It's so sad. And people wondering why I keep doing all these movies because I got to work to pay my bills. So do I. So do most of us. So I don't know. I had an issue with the way that she should she be paid more? Probably. In the field, relative to the people who are getting paid in the field. But don't come crying broke. Cry unfair. Don't cry broke. And then the whole thing about when I was on the set of The Color Purple, they made us drive ourselves. They got us rental cars and made us drive ourselves to work. What I look like driving myself to work? And I was thinking, bitch, what I look like driving myself to work? Well, we all look like driving ourselves to work. We do it every day. Get me a driver. Get me a driver. If they get me a driver, I could do the show on the way home, you know what I'm saying, without having the little baby be my cameraman. Get me a driver. It's stuff like that. I understand there's a standard in the industry and you're complaining about the standard in the industry. It seemed so, Tria say, oh, you cussing this year. Yes, it's 2024. Yes, I'm cussing this year. Y'all know I don't really cuss, but I'm cussing this year. But it just, a lot of that just seemed like a kick in the face. And it's hard for you to get my support because some of this stuff come down to support. It's hard for you to get my support when the stuff you complaining about is stuff that I would love. Can you imagine if you got at your job, they said, because it's the essence of a company car. Here's a car for you to drive yourself to and from work. Here's a car. I'll be like, I got a company car. I mean, where's the driver? Where is my driver? Now I got a company car. You had a company car. They rented you a car. You drive to work. It's like a kick in the face to those of us who are out here, hardworking, everyday people. And that bothered me, so I had to say it, because it's 2024. It's 2024. And then you got Vivica Fox. And they asked Vivica Fox, what's your issue? Vivica was like, look, to each his own. Hold on, let me say that, by the way. To each his own. Because I see a lot of people misquoting stuff. I see a lot of people writing to each is own. To each, I-S-O-N. To each is on. No, it's to each his own. Stop jacking up these simple sayings. You knew what I meant. It don't matter. You lose credibility sometimes when you just can't say shit right. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. To each his own. It's to each his own. Had to get that out because a few people typed that. And it wasn't like one or two. And I'm like, what in the world? What are y'all hearing when people say to each his own? Y'all are actually hearing to each his own? And then explain that to me. But let me go back to what I was talking about. So then Vivica says, look, to each his own. I never had those issues. I'm good. And I kind of respect that, but I'm going to tell you the truth. And I have to, full disclosure, I'm not the biggest Vivica Fox fan. Vivica was mean to me. Vivica was mean to me personally. And Vivica did the show I do, Gospel Superfest shirts on. Vivica hosted Gospel Superfest a few years. And Vivica is not a nice woman. So much so that she turned nice women mean. Like, I call her my girl. I don't know her like that. My girl, Wendy Raquel Robinson, when she hosted it, like she was the nicest person you ever want to meet. Like nice. Like, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I got this. No, it's cool. That's fine. I don't need all of that kind of attention. I'm just me. I'm just like you. You know what I'm saying? She was cool. We was having conversations and everything was all whatever. Wendy was cool. Then the next year, Vivica showed up and it was Vivica and Wendy. And Vivica was just so mean to the point that Wendy started being mean. And I was like, what in the world is going on? And then Farnsworth Bentley, of all people, happened to be there. And Farnsworth Bentley was like, hey, why are y'all acting like that? Basically, that's unbecoming. Stop. And Wendy was like, you're right. Vivica was like, ain't nobody telling me how to act. So, she just was not a nice person. Somebody said, wait a minute. Somebody asked me, who do you like or whatever? Where was it? Do you like anybody? Yes. I just name. See, people only hear what they want to hear. Didn't I just say how nice Wendy Raquel Robinson was? And Farnsworth Bentley? They were all three. They hosted the show together. One was really nice. Then one came in being really mean and then turned that one really mean. And then the other one flipped it and made the other one go back to being nice, but the other one stayed mean. So, yes, I like nice people. But I only say that to say, my opinion of this might be a little clouded by her personality. Okay? Might be a little clouded by her personality. Oh, Regina said I put that in before you said Wendy. Okay, my bad. But I felt like it was a little bit of a jab at Taraji and them. The people who were talking about the way the industry is currently working. I felt like it was a little bit of a jab at them. Even just the way she said, I'm good. Like, them hoes over there complaining, whatever. But for real, it ain't that big of an issue, you know. I feel like that's what she said without actually saying that. And I kind of didn't like that. But I mean, to be completely honest, if that's what her experience is, that's what her experience is. But it felt like, y'all know how people can throw shade without actually throwing shade. It felt like that. But again, that's why I told y'all that could be clouded by my personal experiences with her and her personality. So, you take that for what it's worth. Now there are people out here, y'all know me, I don't like to name names, but I will. Raven, who trying to put it out here like I don't like people. And a few of y'all have said something about me being negative. Here was just a fact of, well, here was just a thing. All right? Just a thing. If you talk to me about somebody, I know, Raven. If you talk to me about somebody and I like them, I'm probably just going, especially if you're saying good stuff, I'm like, yeah. But just like what I was talking about yesterday, people like who they like. And there's almost nothing you can say to change their mind. So from my perspective, I try to give y'all a perspective. I try to give y'all a different perspective on the few people that I've met, that I know. The overwhelming majority of the celebrities that I've met, they real nice. I don't have anything to say about them because they just nice people. Then you got some who are like above and beyond nice, and you can kind of tell when it's genuine. And you're like, oh my God, she is so nice. And then you got those few who are mean. Like celebrity has gone to their head, and they believe they're more important human beings than non-celebrity people. That's just, I like to let you know the truth about the people that you know what I'm saying, see on the TV, hear on the radio, hear on the records, and all that kind of stuff. That's it. I tell you who else was really nice? That Roxy was really nice. Like really nice. Angela says, you ain't cutting any of these gospel affiliated folk a bit of slack. I'm just telling the truth. The truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. You don't have to cut people slack. You just tell the truth. The car shield commercial. I tell you, and that's another thing. I know, and I'll be trying to be funny. A lot of this stuff, yes, Anthony, truth. You spelled it wrong. It's Trufe. Truth. Or some people might spell it Troof, but it is really Trufe. Truth. What about that? This is another just on the Vivica thing. I didn't like that car shield commercial that she did initially. I felt like she was putting black people down. But here's the truth about me. I'm aware of my biases. I'm aware that I have certain biases towards certain people. And so it might be that bias that's shaping how I take what they say. But when y'all remember the first commercial? It's the first Car Shield commercial I saw her do. And she was talking about Car Shield and everything. And then she was like, now listen, babies, you got to get the coverage before you have the accident. I'm like, why this bitch talking down to us? You know what I'm saying? Well, we ain't all trying to hustle Car Shield. Why are you talking to us like that? Because I don't know why. That's just how I feel. I feel like when, and again, admittedly, this stuff is how I feel. I feel like when a company like that go out and get a black spokesperson, they trying to talk to black people. I like that. You trying to talk to me, but then don't talk down to me. You don't get points for having a black person talk down to me. Plus, I don't know that I trust Car Shield. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard anything good about it. I know they put the people on the commercial, but I haven't read the testimonials on the commercial. I got Car Shield, and then the next day my transmission went out, and they paid the whole thing. Saved me $4,200. Cha-ching, you know. I ain't heard no regular people say that to me. And I'm sure in Cincinnati, somewhere, somebody of them went for it and bought Car Shield. Why ain't nobody called the Lincoln Ware show like, hey, Lincoln, I'm going to put y'all up on game. I got Car Shield, and then my transmission went out. Lincoln, they saved me $4,200. I ain't never heard that. I got friends, I got relatives, church members. Ain't nobody ever said, nigga, you might want to get on that Car Shield. Nobody. So I'm not saying it's bad. I don't necessarily trust it. But okay, that was that. That was Vivica. I felt like she kind of took some shots, and that was that. All right. But she got it right. Sierra, if it's not on the Lincoln Ware show, it didn't happen. That's right. People call Lincoln Ware about everything. Everything. Now, let me say, if I remember, Sierra, you's a single woman. Just go to the Dirty Kroger and get some grocery. Don't be trying to chime in. It's grocery time. Go find yourself a Dirty Kroger and go shopping. She knows what that means. It's not for everybody. All right, what else happened? What else happened? I talked a little bit about, oh, hold on, let me hide this. I talked a little bit about Stephanie and Alicia yesterday. I don't have much else to say about it. But am I the only one who think Stephanie didn't have a plan? She did this stuff and she didn't have a plan. And I was talking about it with somebody. I'm not going to say his name because he might not want it out there. But I was talking about it to somebody last night. And we were like, look, it is quite possible. Because again, this stuff been brewing since day one. So it's quite possible Dumas actually had some sort of an axe to grind. But, come on, you don't, That attack, I'm going to call it an attack. That attack was like a blessing from God for Alicia Reese, because that is right up her wheelhouse. Ain't that the term? Right in her wheelhouse, whatever. She is, you know, I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I had to overcome this. I'm a victim. I had to overcome that. I'm a victim. I had to overcome this. In her wheelhouse. Thank you, Raven Monday. Oh, by the way, Raven Monday, thank you for coming. I didn't get a chance. I don't even know. Did you host Lincoln Ware Show today? I didn't get a chance to listen. I was too busy. So I didn't get a chance to listen. I'm sure you did a good job, but I just want to welcome a celebrity. You know, when we get celebrities in the house, you got to be, you know, welcome the celebrities in the house. I'm sure you did a good job, and welcome. And Tria, don't be hating. It could be upper wheelhouse. You ever seen a wheelhouse? Some of them go up. But you gave the person who utilizes her struggles, because some people got mad. I got the messages. You saying she's a victim. You saying she's a victim. And you trying to diminish her by saying that she plays the victim. Well, she does, but if you don't like that terminology, she capitalizes on her challenges. So why give her a challenge to capitalize on without a plan? I saw Nate said Hilton, Bobby Hilton is going to be on with Lincoln on the Lincoln Ware Show tomorrow. And if I'll check it out. But let me give Hilton a warning if he's listening. If he's listening, let me give Lincoln Ware Bobby Hilton a warning. Do not treat it as friendly territory. You are not going into friendly territory. You are going behind enemy lines. Unless, of course, you've made a decision to turn on Stephanie Summerall Dumas. And people thought I was taking a shot at Lincoln Ware yesterday when I said, I want to be clear, I took some shots at Lincoln Ware yesterday. Intentionally, lighthearted, fun. But I wasn't taking a shot at Lincoln Ware when I said he is loyal to his friends. That's not a shot. That's a good thing. And Alicia Reese is his friend. I always tease him and say that's his daughter. It's not his daughter. I just tease him about that because of how he seems to love and protect her. I don't genuinely think that's his daughter. But I tease him and I say that. He is going to protect her. So just understand, if you go in and you are still Team Summerall Dumas, you are going behind enemy lines. He gonna pretend to try to be partial, but it's little things that you can do as a talk show host. The way you ask the questions, the way that you respond to the answers. Hey, we're in this generation where, all this live streaming stuff, the faces you make when somebody gives an answer, just a little, that. There's a lot of things you can do to sway the opinion of listeners. Like, you know how I keep telling y'all how Lincoln has this issue with asking questions with the preferred answer already built into the question? You think that's going to happen? You think the question is going to be, Bishop Hilton, Commissioner Summer Dumas said this. Don't you think that what she was saying was actually accurate? And can't you give us some examples of where maybe Commissioner Reese did some of the stuff that she's talking about? I don't think that's going to happen. So just if he's going to be there, I'll be checking it out. But you're going behind enemy lines, Bishop Hilton. But I genuinely don't think, and this is going to sound like a shot at Bishop Hilton, but it's really not. I had to pause because there's another story here. And it's 2024. And I keep trying to say you don't have to go there. But it's 2024. And this is what we do in 2024. I believe Bishop Hilton has been tricked by Lincoln Ware. Now, a lot of y'all, I've told y'all this story. I'm not going to recap the whole story. But I told y'all there was a time when Lincoln Ware was actively trying to get me fired from the radio station. He'd enlisted people to do and say things, to call the radio station and make complaints about me, to call advertisers and make complaints about me. I told y'all all of that. But he aligned himself with Bishop Hilton once or twice as well. And I don't think Bishop Hilton knew that what he was trying to do was to get me fired. But Bishop aligned with him on some things. And so they were on a team. Lincoln's goal was to get me fired. Hilton's goal, I think, was just to be cool with Lincoln. It wasn't nothing major. I remember we was out at Charlie Winburn's church. And Lincoln was doing a remote at Charlie Winburn's church. Charlie had some different little things of how he wanted things done. At the time, I was working at Charlie Winburn's church, but I was also working for the radio station. And Charlie Winburn wanted them up on the stage. He wanted the lighting a certain way. And Lincoln claimed that he couldn't read what he was supposed to read to do his copy because the lights was too dark. The lights wasn't too dark. I told you yesterday, he's just not a strong reader. But Winburn didn't want to turn on the main house lights. He had on all the stage lights. Now, you know, typically what people do when the stage lights and stuff is on is they complain it's too bright. It's too bright. It's too much light. It was just the opposite. And there was a call made to the radio station that I'm not doing my job because I won't turn up the lights at Charlie Winburn's. And Bishop Hilton was in there at that moment. Bishop Hilton had just got finished reading some shit. And then Lincoln says, it's too dark to read up here. Ain't it, Bishop Hilton? And Bishop Hilton like, oh yes, it sure is too dark to read up here. And I'm thinking, nigga, you just read some shit. Hilton was just trying to, you know what I'm saying, be Team Lincoln. He didn't know he was being used for something else. And a couple of little things like that happened, just little things. And so he felt like it's me and you. In my mind, he felt like, yeah, Lincoln, it's me and you against him. So he thought they was like, cool. But I don't want him to go. That was a good Bobby Hilton. Yeah. Use the, the fake deep voice. That was a good Bobby Hilton. Don't hate on my Bobby Hilton. But I think when he go in there tomorrow, I hope he don't go in thinking that alliance still exists. They tried to work together also to help Judge Tracy Hunter. Y'all didn't know that. Yeah, they went down and negotiated, had meetings with the Hamilton County commissioners and all of that kind of stuff. Now they was fighting for the wrong stuff. Judge Hunter was fighting for her job and her life. And they went down there talking about she needs new furniture in her office. She needs a new desk. She needs some new chairs. And then they came back telling everybody, we won. The whole saga with J.C. Hunter is over. She's getting new desks and she's going to get some new chairs. And I remember telling them at the time, she wasn't fighting for desks and chairs. She might have pointed out that her stuff was old, but she wasn't fighting for desks and chairs. And y'all told everybody everything was all good. And then so everybody like, well, Lincoln and Hilton said everything is all good. And everybody dropped their guard. And next thing you know, she indicted on some stuff. And I told both of them it was their fault. Told them to their face because that's how I do. How was it my fault when I just tried to help her? Because you fell for the trick. You're supposed to be smarter than that. And you can't tell everybody the fight has been won when the fight's still going on. So if he walks in there thinking, that me and Lincoln are still friends, and everything's gonna be fine, and he gonna be in, he'll be shell shocked. Telling you, I'll be listening. But you can't come at somebody like that without a full plan. If I was Stephanie, if I was Stephanie and I was gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like Thanos said, you go for the head. I wouldn't have been sitting there talking about, Googling what are the traits of a leader to come out and, make a little speech at the end of a commissioner's meeting. We live in Ohio. If Alicia was doing negative, nasty stuff to you, record. It's a one-party consent state. Record her being nasty to you. Record her cussing you out. Record her talking about your gnarled fingers. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Record her talking about your wig. Record her doing whatever it is she doing. And then you leak it. Leak it to the media. And then when they come to you like, how did that get out in the media? You be like, I have no idea. I don't play those types of games. I don't get down in the mud. Is it true? Well, I mean, those are actual recordings of things that happened, but I have no idea how those people got those recordings. And next thing you know, you the victim. And then she got to defend her behavior. But maybe there was no behavior to defend. But you got to come with a plan. You can't just off the cuff, like, I think I'm going to abstain. Okay, you abstain, no biggie. End of the meeting. Can I just say something? Sure. What you got to say? Let me tell you why I abstained. What? Why? You abstained and went through. Let that be that. Was that a plan or did she go rogue? If it was a plan, it was a horrible plan. It was a horrible plan. I want to know, Lincoln, Raven, get this question to Lincoln for tomorrow. Did Bobby Hilton know that Stephanie Summerall Dumas was gonna abstain? And if so, Did Bobby Hilton know that Stephanie Summerall Dumas was gonna quote the Google traits of leadership inside of her speech at the county commissioner meeting? That's what I want to know. What did Hilton know and when? That's what I want to know. And if he knew all of that, how could he let such a horrible plan go forward? How about I call and ask Raven? I won't be in a position to call in. Plus, I forfeited my call-in privileges in order for Black Lion to be able to call. And I'm a man of my word, so I will not call unless Lincoln Ware reinstates. It was like restore and reinstate all put together. I kind of like it. Reinstores my calling privileges. So I can't call, but I want to know. If it was a plan, who in the hell put the plan together? It was a terrible plan. Now it just seemed like two Black women fighting each other. I mean, if you're going to do that for the Black community, can't you give a little bit to Denise Driehaus? Like, Alicia Reese ain't no leader. Here are the traits of a leader. She ain't that. And Denise is ugly. You know what I'm saying? Something. You got to throw something at Denise. Otherwise, it just seemed like two Black women going at each other. I'm not actually saying that Denise is ugly or that Alicia doesn't have the traits of a leader. I'm just saying, if you're going to, in order to make it seem like, no, Raven, it does, maybe to some of y'all, it seemed one-sided. But it's not one-sided. This I can tell you from, I remember being at the radio station. This thing has been brewing. I can't say with 100% certainty that Alicia Reese, is not humble. Hold on, let me, because I want to be clear about this. Traits of a leader. Traits of a good leader. Maybe I'll come up with the same stuff that what's her name came up with. Okay, it ain't that one. Hold on, I'm looking up the characteristics of a good leader. I don't remember word for word what Stephanie Summerall Dumas said, but I just looked up, I Googled characteristics of a good leader. 1, empathy. Did she mention that? 2, authenticity. 3, self-awareness. 4, courage. 5, integrity. 6 is flexibility. 7, they're lifelong learners. 8, delegation. 9, commitment. 10, vision. 11, influence. 12 is team building and collaboration. Man, I'm reading like Lincoln or something. 13 is strong communication. 14 is accountability. 15, resilience. I didn't see humility, so that must not be the same list that she read from. But I'm telling you, what I'm saying is, Miss Reese's hands are not 100% clean in this. I keep telling y'all keep acting like y'all don't hear stuff. But Miss Reese has taken some subtle jabs at Commissioner Dumas over these years. She didn't do a Dumas like without a plan. At least she's smart. But she has taken on the air subtle jabs at Dumas. It's true. I'm not making that up. That's why I said this thing been brewing since day one. They've been very subtle. But if you're the one getting jabbed, you know what I'm saying? You feel those jabs, especially after a while. I'm not a boxer, but I watch boxing. Very rarely do you see people get knocked out with the first jab. It's just a little jab. Typically, a jab is used to set up something else. Okay, one of the things that they'll say is, he touching him. It's the point of the jab at some point. Just to let you know, I'm touching you. I'm touching you. I'm touching you. But the accumulation of those jabs, after a while, you know what I'm saying? You punch somebody in their left eye for 20 straight minutes. After a while, even a light punch in that left eye hurt like hell. So she's taking some subtle jabs. It's not a completely one-sided beef. It's not. Now, maybe the jabs that Miss Reese was taking was in response to jabs that Miss Dumas was throwing. But it's not like Alicia just been standing there taking jabs and not throwing none. They both been taking shots at each other this whole time. So it's not just some one-sided beef. It bothers me that people, I get it. Alicia Reese is likable. She's out there. She's fighting for you. She's struggling and she's getting things done for you and all of that kind of stuff. I get it. We like her. But to pretend like she ain't been throwing no jabs? Come on, don't be that person. Don't be that person. If you really think about it, if you look at it objectively, you'll see jabs been thrown from both sides. From both sides. Again, I don't know who jabbed first. I don't know who jabbed most. But it's not a completely one-sided anything. Very rarely, I can't say never, but very rarely is a fight completely one-sided. So, but yeah, no, there was no plan, and it was terrible. It's terrible. Ron says she was supposed to be throwing jabs from the giddy up. Look how they did her coming in. Who? Who are you talking about? Ron. Who are you talking about? And what are you talking about? I've noticed a lot of black people in this city can't think objectively about Reese. Too many people think she walks on water. It's true. It's true. Which is why, for some people, they like, oh, you hating. I'm not. Like, I know y'all think this is crazy. I like Alicia Reese. I keep telling y'all, I see Alicia Reese all over the place. Alicia Reese be out there. And she doing what she's supposed to do. Do something and then tell everybody what you did. Is she does she go over the top a little bit in terms of self-promotion? Somebody might say so. I could understand if somebody felt that way. I could understand it if somebody felt that way. But I like Alicia. But I'm objective about this. I'm objective about this. Like a lot of people can't be. For whatever reason. Some people just gravitate towards. And she seems to be one of those people. I don't hate on that. I'm the opposite. I think I repel people. She attracts people. People gravitate towards her. And all power to her. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm a person who tries to look at things objectively. So, I guess right now I'm responding to the idea, and Raven was the one who put it up there. Like, no, it's a one-sided beef. But it's not a one-sided beef. It's a one-sided beef if you're not being objective. Samuel says, not you, Emanuel. Not me what? Not me what? Look, y'all, I'm even objective about me. Like the stuff I said about Vivica. I recognize that I have a bias. That's me being objective. That's me understanding you might be misinterpreting this because of your bias. That's objectivity. That's objectivity. Hold on, I saw where Ron said something, and I wanted to put it up because Ron is one of my favorite people. I mean that genuinely. She's supposed to promote herself because she don't stand up for herself. I might have misread that. I'm not always the strongest reader. She's supposed to promote herself because she don't stand up for herself. As you can see, everybody gained constant for her. Yeah, exactly. Is Miss Reese the only commissioner speaking at the town hall meeting coming up? She's on the flyer. Apparently. Apparently, she is. She might be. I don't know. I don't know. Angela says, are you taking calls? Absolutely. 513-717-5464. I like Alicia. Stephanie, some people about to hate you. Hate you. Maybe Alicia is overdoing things in the eye of Stephanie and boasting them to Stephanie in private. Who knows? And there are people, I would imagine people who think that this is a one-sided beef would look at that and say, no way possible. It's not even in the realm of possibility that Alicia Reese could ever even consider doing something behind the scenes negative. Not even remotely possible. But then those of us who are objective are like, what happened? Because we understand something could have happened. We don't know. It could have. We don't know. Raven, you was on the phone. You didn't understand. I don't know how the beef started. I just know the beef been going on since Alicia Reese got there. And they both been jabbing. If two people jabbing each other, you can't say it's a one-way fight. It's only a one-sided fight. They both jabbing each other. And we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So how do we come to the conclusion with no information that it's just a one-sided thing? Because we like one person and that's it. We don't know. And I saw where Ron put something else up. Hold on, because I want to, I want to give him his credit. She's supposed to promote herself because who is going to stand up for her if she doesn't stand up for herself? That's deep, brother. That's deep. Um, okay. Can I make a suggestion? The buzz has failed to play Dumas' comments from the meeting. Can you play them? I don't know. Let me see if I can look them up. Let me see if I can look them up. Stephanie says, anyone is capable of doing anything, and I don't care what people think. What is seen in the light is done different in the dark. That's how you see it. That's how I see it. But if you like her being Miss Reese, well, let me take that back. If you've lost your objectivity when it comes to her, then you think this is just a one-sided beef, and that's all it could possibly be. That's it. And I'm not even here because, people, be whatever. I'm not even here saying Alicia did anything wrong. I'm saying we don't know. We don't know. It was a bad plan by Stephanie. If Alicia Reese has been the most horrible person in the world, and again, we don't know. That was still a horrible way to go about doing it. It was a horrible plan. All of Withrow gonna be, they probably will, but for what? And this goes to what I'm talking about. For what? What have I said? This goes to the lack of objectivity that some people have. What have I said? Because I'm sure, if this actually gets circulated, oh, he was hating on Alicia and he said this and he said that. What did I actually say? Except we don't know, and they was both jabbing. They both been jabbing. Angela.
Good afternoon, King.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? Feeling better now?
I'm feeling better. I don't sound better, but I'm feeling better.
Okay. Very good. You want to finish saying what you were saying?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. My take on the Alicia Stephanie thing is Stephanie, the moment Alicia came in there, Stephanie was feeling some type of way from the very beginning. So she's always been playing upon the first African-American elected woman. So, that's her claim to fame, but she's never really given any updates. You don't see her in the community. There's just a whole lot. So I think part of it is just the jealousy. And what I've noticed is anytime that anyone gives Alicia credit or thanks for listening and acting upon stuff, she comes back with, she's not the only commissioner. This is a 3-person. It takes 2 votes. We get all that. We all understand.
Do we?
But I think we do.
Okay.
Because she keeps saying that, and everybody knows. I think she's just jealous about Alicia's personality. Now, Alicia comes by that honestly. You see Steve Reese, so every time you go into her talking about that, I had to fight thing, I just giggle because it's true, because she works in the basketball, she works in Grambling.
Yeah, she got her.
In, how she was the homecoming or whatever, Miss Black Graham, whatever the thing is. So she works it all in, back to the point guard and, everything. The same way he's always going to work in something about the record company and some he did with the civil rights fight in Cincinnati. So, we all know her spiel. That's just her style. But I think Stephanie's thing is rooted in that. So when it always comes from that place, it's not genuine and it's not a fair critique of what Alicia's done. So I agree. There's back and forth, and there's subtlety because obviously they can't meet behind the scenes. So it's always going to have to play out because the rules mean they can't meet in person. So everything has to be between their staff. And I know Bobby Hilton probably isn't communicating on the back end. There's been a lot of talk about things when they have to go in between the commissioners. He's off at one of his other jobs, or maybe he's down at the Bengals game with Lincoln kicking it and, not really doing city business. But he has a lot of jobs. I guess he's still the Bengals and the Reds chancellor, maybe. He's doing something out in the street. He preaches. So he's got a lot on his plate. So I think it's just not a good look for her, I think. And as I said, I've watched all these meetings for years, and I just noticed that she just seems to bristle when people give Alicia praise or taking initiatives for stuff. And you saw the Black Walk of Fame thing, didn't you?
I did not see it. I did hear about it. And I heard what she said.
Oh yeah, it was just totally out of left field and out of order. I mean, when I tell you, everybody just was kind of there like, okay, we're all talking music and all this stuff, and then she comes in talking about something from God and like this shade at Alicia because I forget. Everybody was just coming on giving like Alicia her flowers for doing this and running with it, and it just built up in her. And once again, she blamed it on God. God told her, or she was in communion with Him, or
now. Well, hold on. Let's hold on. Let's deal with this God thing. I think y'all are seriously mischaracterizing what that woman said.
No, go listen after you get a chance to go look at it. Like I said, it's probably on the Facebook page.
No. I'm not talking about the Walk of Fame thing, even though I think y'all might be mischaracterizing that too. But I'm talking about even that commissioners meeting. Let me ask you, because you've seen it. On the Walk of Fame thing, she said that God told her something about Alicia Reese.
She makes it the way I interpret it.
Hold on. Before you tell me how you interpret it, because it's also 2024. This is the year. Just answer the question. Did she say that God told her something about Alicia Reese?
That is kind of how she expressed it. As I recall, it's how she explains it is she goes into prayer about things, and what God reveals or brings to her awareness is what she speaks upon.
So what did she say that God said?
Something was sitting on her spirit. You know what? I really don't even remember.
Right, because
exact about that.
Because Angela, there is a difference between I got something on my spirit and I talk to God about it, and God said, you know what I'm saying? Like I could be like, it's in my spirit, and I've believed this, and I prayed to God about it, and I feel like, Angela is just trying to upset my show. That's different than me saying, God told me Angela want to see me ruined. Those are two different things. One can interpret one the same way, but that's why I'm asking the specific. I think y'all are mischaracterizing what she's saying about God.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and listen because, like I said, that's about 7 months old. This other one happened Monday, so
yes.
I still think there was a through line between the way she delivered both of the messages behind what she said. It was, and she couldn't hold it in. It's how she presents it. It's like, it's like a divine revelation from God, and He told her blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's how I take the delivery.
Okay,
and I could be wrong. A lot of us, I guess, can be wrong, but then maybe it's just her expression of it.
Let me ask you this: if you are one of 3 votes, and it takes 2 votes to do something, and so you go along with whomever, on that thing, don't you, maybe you wouldn't, but is it really unfair to say, well, hold on, give me some credit? You know what I'm saying? I voted yes. Is that unfair?
I guess we really don't see a lot from her that she spearheads. So that's why I take it that she gets offended, because I think Driehaus has her pet projects too that she kind of takes the lead on. But since Alicia is willing to take the lead on things, but you know, Stephanie was there a term before her, and she did not do anything that, okay, well, I did this, this, and this. So I think it's a little bit of guilt on her part. So a little jealousy, a little guilt.
It may be.
You know, and I mean, that's not a bad thing. You know, if usually when there's some competition or somebody else, you know, in your work environment is doing stuff, you either step it up or you hate. And it's looking pretty more like she's hating instead of stepping up. Like, oh, okay, what
can I say there is another option?
What is your third option?
The third option is you keep doing what you're doing and you suck it up until you can't take no more. Sometimes that's the option.
See, that ain't an option for her. I was hoping that she would just get better, because, I mean, she has years of service with Forest Park and Lincoln Heights, although a lot of it's still not good. She don't have a good track record. So, and then, as I said, even down there, the last thing I remember she was supposed to do, or maybe not supposed to do, but it was on her watch, is that, you know, we were trying to come into inclusivity with minorities and stuff down there, and she really wouldn't give updates. I would watch meetings, and I think she called Lincoln. So there was money that was available, and, you know, she wasn't really getting it out or telling people to apply. So a lot of times for these county funds, you have Blue Ash and, you know, all these little white suburban type cities that are getting all these fundings, and, you know, it's more black people here in the city than are out there. So, well, now that's shifting a little bit, but I think during her first term, that was something she really could have, you know, dug into, since she was the first elected African-American woman, as she likes to keep touting. You know, you would have thought, saying that, I'm going to be doing more for black people.
Angela, look, I agree with you. I would have loved, I'm not one who's going to say Stephanie didn't do anything when she was there. All right?
Oh, I'll say it all day long. I call her seat warmer.
And that's fine, but I don't know what she may or may not have done. Okay? But here is what I'll say. Whatever she did not promote. And that's one thing that Alicia is the master of, is I hear Alicia promoting stuff sometimes, and I'll be like, Alicia, you didn't actually say nothing. You know what I'm saying? But the way that you put it all together, it sounds like you just solved world hunger when you didn't actually do anything. And that's a positive for Alicia, because she knows how to promote Alicia. And I don't know that Stephanie knows that. But I would say it's possible that what you might think is jealousy might just be some, I guess you could call it jealousy. It's one of those things where you're like, hey, you ain't the only one here. You know what I'm saying? You always talking about you did this and you did that and you did this and you did that, but we did that. You take all the credit for it, but we are a team. We did it. You didn't go down there and, you know, build that building. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes to hear her talk about it, it sounds like, man, she was running pipe. You know what I'm saying? She was stacking bricks and, you know, running electricity and drywalling. And if one of the construction men came up like, hold on, I did help build the building. Why you hating on Alicia Reese? Why you hating on Alicia Reese? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I did some stuff. Do I get to say I did stuff when I actually did stuff? Is that hate?
But you know what? I would have to counter with that
All right.
is Driehaus has been down there longer than anybody. Why isn't she, you know, speaking from the same, space of
She should.
insecurity? Because she knows what she did. She don't have to argue with Alicia. You know
I
what
agree.
I'm saying? She just kind of look at her. That's why I just look at the faces she makes. It's like she done been there and done that. She's made all the relationships. I can't think of anybody who talks about the partnerships that they have had with Stephanie from the beginning. In her whole first term, there was no collaboration. Each meeting, they get up there and talk about how they've been out in the community and the projects that they're working on. Now, I pay attention to that stuff just like I do with these council people. When I go down to these meetings and we're in person, and they come in there and speak to, like, the general public that bothers to show up. And I'm just kind of like, well, what is your office working on? I don't want to, see what you talk about just on camera. Tell us what is going on behind the scenes. Now, Stephanie had that crazy man down there who was Paul Sohi. He in there doing crazy stuff. So her chief of staff, I'm just trying to figure out what are they doing besides causing chaos and being part of the clown show.
Well, here's what I will say. You can say what you want to say.
It's just crazy.
Alicia is out in the community, and she is coming up with ideas, and she is doing stuff. And I keep saying that's a part of your job as a politician is to tell people what you're doing so that they know.
You know what else?
And she's doing it.
What I say is that Alicia listens to people. She is actually not pushing her own agenda. And that's what I feel Stephanie feels like. She got in there and is like, I'm going to do everything I want. I don't believe that's true. She's actually out talking to people. If you see her out, people bring their concerns with her, like this thing with the veterans that just popped up. She's really jumped in with that when she talks about the 513 relief and all the services. She's doing that countywide, and she's including black people, but I would say she includes white people as well. But her allegiance, which I appreciate, is toward black people. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to bring the black people up to where the white people have been with getting the services and, the access to things, or even just the information, So that's what I appreciate. Is
but would there be a 513 relief bus if two people hadn't voted yes? You can say no.
There wouldn't be anything down
right.
there.
So how is it hating to say, hold on, I voted for that too?
I don't think that's if I look at it, I don't think her delivery is that.
So it's not necessarily the content. It's the delivery and partially our bias towards Alicia Reese.
I don't know. I don't know if I could say that or not.
Come on, Angela. You was doing so good with your honesty.
I'm being very serious because I'm sitting back thinking over like just the course of just meetings and how it goes between them. And to me, if you ask me, that would seem to be the through line, is that I notice anytime people thank Alicia for her work, that bristles Stephanie, and she takes so much, and then she has an outburst.
All right.
That's just what I've observed. So
okay. Hey, I appreciate your call.
Okay, give little baby a kiss.
I will do that.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Little baby hate when I give her kisses. She hate it. It might be because of the way I do it, but she hates it. Nate.
Boy, just burns me up.
Okay, you breaking up already.
Just burns me up.
Oh.
Listen.
Oh, hold on. Before you get started, Nat is on here, and Nat, you're becoming like the embodiment of what I'm talking about. He says the Livingston brothers ain't feeling Reese. How? I've said she's everything she's doing is good. She's out there in the community. She this. I've just said I don't know what happens behind the scenes. So how is that not feeling Reese? I'm not on Alicia Reese's coochie like you are. But it's not I like Alicia Reese. And you don't have to be all on her coochie to be objective and say, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So maybe if you work on being a little more objective, get off her coochie and just look at, you might come to the same conclusion, but you might not. Go ahead, Nate.
But to those people, just saying Alicia's doing a good job, Alicia's doing a few good things, Alicia, that's not good enough. They want you to have absolute loyalty, which I find it really sad that a guy like Ron Dula, he's got the same approach to Alicia that he has to Donald Trump, which is when I'm in, I'm 100% in. I can't see no faults. I can't see nothing wrong that you do. Everything you do is the greatest. What nobody doing nothing before you got in office, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing once you leave office. And that is the problem that I think you've been talking about, and I know even back in the day when I was on the radio that I was talking about is a danger in the black community when we have this blind loyalty to individuals and we can't objectively critique and sometimes criticize what they do. It drives me nuts. Every black person in America, I think, has seen the Temptations movie. And they saw how one guy came into a group, but he wasn't no group man. It was all about him. Everything was him. They didn't come to see you, Otis. They came to see me. No, they came to see the whole group. And you just happen to be the leader. Alicia is like dude in the Temptations. It ain't about her getting the glory. I want to thank y'all for coming to see me get sworn in. Didn't they come to see Stephanie Dumas get sworn in too? Didn't they come to see Denise Driehaus get sworn? To Alicia and to her fans, it is all about Alicia.
Well, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. I don't actually get that from Alicia. What I get from Alicia is, look, Alicia is gonna promote Alicia, and I don't have a problem with Alicia promoting Alicia. I mean, if I'm Alicia and I get up, I'm not going to be like, thank y'all for coming to see us get sworn in. No, thank you for coming to see me get sworn in because it's my time. Now, I do agree with you about the people who be, all on her tip. Like, to me, they are the issue. Alicia, in my opinion, is doing what Alicia is supposed to do because she's a politician. So she's in that position where she get her job based on the people voting for her. So I got to win the people over. So yeah, I got to be David Ruffin. You know what I'm saying? I got to let it be known. I got to perform. I don't have a problem with Alicia doing it. My problem is the people falling for it and losing their objectivity.
Well, let me carry this David Ruffin Temptation example a step further. If you go back, I went back yesterday and I watched Stephanie's comments. I watched Alicia's comments. Alicia actually spoke twice. She spoke before Stephanie spoke, and then she spoke after Stephanie spoke. And then she ended the meeting and wouldn't let Stephanie speak again. Which is, some people think that's cool. That's how if you got power and you want to exercise it like that, then fine. And then not only did she speak twice at the commissioners meeting, Then she called Lincoln Ware, and she spoke twice. And it really, as much as I want to hear Bobby Hilton on the show tomorrow, I really another part of me says, really, y'all ought to just y'all ought to record that call that she made to Lincoln, and y'all ought to put it on y'all campaign website or put it somewhere and distribute it widely so people can hear Alicia on there calling Stephanie all kind of names. She dogged the lady out, and really she made the point that Stephanie made at the commissioners meeting. To hear Alicia tell it, and see, Alicia's been going around the community saying this stuff, and it hasn't bubbled up to the surface until that commission meeting. To hear Alicia tell it, she's like David Ruffin. The Temptations was a struggling, failing group. Y'all wasn't accomplishing nothing, and y'all wasn't nothing till I got here. That's how Alicia makes it. The commissioners wasn't doing nothing until I got down here. Now, y'all say that's not her taking a shot at Stephanie Dumas. What do you call it?
Well, it could just be honesty.
It could be. But if you're Stephanie, how can you say, you attacking me, but I never attacked you? Clearly, that's an attack. Whether it's an honest attack is debatable. I don't think it's so true. But assuming, even if I thought it was true, if I say that you was just a seat warmer, you wasn't doing nothing until I got down there, is that not an attack on you?
Somebody could view it that way, sure. I would.
How do you view it?
If it were me, and I were down there, and somebody said,
no. How do you view what if Alicia has been saying, which she has, Stephanie Dumas wasn't doing nothing until I came down to the commission? Is that an attack?
Yes, that is.
So what are all these people out here talking about? Alicia never criticized her. She never attacked her. She never said nothing negative about her. What the hell are they talking about? She literally campaigned on putting Stephanie Dumas down. She literally campaigned on Stephanie Dumas might be the first African American, but she ain't getting nothing done for our community. I got to think that Stephanie Dumas her feelings was probably hurt. And I think rightfully so. Now, as much as I hate to say it, I actually like Alicia. I think she's got some great political skills. She's got some great survival skills. She works that victim angle as well locally as Trump does nationally. And again, I'm gonna keep making that reference because y'all out there who right now getting mad and don't like what I'm saying about Alicia, y'all are black versions of white Trumpsters. Alicia can do no wrong.
That's true.
Yes, I did. Excuse me. I'm using it as soon as I get it off. I'll bring it down.
Hey, I got a belt.
These kids these days, boy, they want to check me about taking my computer and using it during this telephone call. Anyway, so these people they're acting like cult members. And I guess because I've never been in a cult, I don't know, I think if I was in a cult, I would go look in the mirror and be like, damn, boy, you in a cult. This person can't do no wrong. But seeing as how I've never been in a cult, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I would be just like them. But I want y'all to know, all y'all people in the chat saying, no, we ain't like that. You are doing the same thing that white Trumpsters do, which is you're defending Alicia even when she's wrong. Alicia called that woman treacherous. She said she was a plant. She accused her of taking money from white folks. The clear implication being that she was taking bribes or taking payouts, doing something illegal. All this stuff. But they'll say, they'll even say, Alicia never said nothing negative about her. She never called her out her name. Or they'll use this. Well, she was only punching back. She waited till she was punched. But again, I just told you, and anybody who's got an independent, fair mind will have to admit, yes, she did campaign on the fact that, according to her, Stephanie Dumas hadn't done nothing. She was just down there collecting the paycheck and keeping the seat warm. Now, I keep asking people this, and Alicia sort of answered it. But what has Alicia really done? Well, she put the Black Music Walk of Fame. How does that impact the family living in Avondale or Lincoln Heights or Woodlawn or anywhere else in Hamilton County? So what I'm saying is that in any of the other list of things that she always throws up, we don't know how to evaluate whether something is that old commercial, whether it's real or whether it's Memorex. That Black Music Walk of Fame is used by Alicia. She says it's good for tourism, which might be true. So, yeah, the Black community might benefit a little bit by having increased tax dollars in the county. But at the end of the day, that ain't no accomplishment for Black people. That don't help me put no food on the table. It don't help me with pay my property taxes. It's show, and that's what so much of what Alicia does is. It's feel good. It's emotional. It's all show business. Her and her daddy are great promoters, and their number one promotion project is themselves. So if you look at that, well, she brought us the 513 bus. Again, she didn't do that by herself. And then she said this on Lincoln Ware Show. She said, which is another one of them digs at Stephanie that she's been making for a long time and nobody hears it. She said, well, people are talking about where it takes at least 2 votes to get anything done at the commission. But I had to go out and have 5 or 6 hour meetings to get that Black Music Walk of Fame done after the vote. While some people, Stephanie, take the vote and then go home and put their pajamas on and go to bed. That's a dig at Stephanie. You're saying.
It can be both. It can be true and a dig. And that's why I said when Raven said it's all a one-sided beef, I'm saying it's not a one-sided beef. They are both jabbing at each other. And I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but I recognize all of the little jabs that they've both been throwing. So to me, my whole argument ain't Alicia is ineffective or Stephanie is ineffective. My whole argument is they both been going back and forth. And if you don't know what's up, how do you just outright say, nah, Alicia ain't never did nothing to nobody? Like, you got issues.
Right, and they have different leadership styles. And you would think that the Black community, we would respect different leadership styles. You know, you can have 2 churches with the same size congregations. If one is an AME church and one is a missionary Baptist church, you can, and I'm generalizing, I hope y'all don't get mad, you can probably expect the pastor of the Missionary Baptist Church to be a little more rambunctious, a little bit more braggadocious, a little bit louder, a little, and the, according to what I'm seeing from the black community, they gonna say, well, the Missionary Baptist pastor is getting stuff done because the AME guy, the Methodists, they're more subdued. And what Stephanie said was, one of the leadership traits, one of the traits of a good leader is to be humble, is to be transparent.
She did say that.
Is to communicate, is to talk to people. And these people talking about, well, Alicia do talk to people. I'm gonna tell you something. For many, 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 many years, when I was in Cincinnati, Alicia wouldn't talk to me. Even when I was on the radio, Alicia wouldn't talk to me because I wouldn't 100% be a flunky. I dared to go on the air and maybe take some shots at her, maybe criticize her. Whereas other
people don't like that.
Other politicians would say, man, you so, take Charlie Winburn, for example, would say, iron sharp as iron. I love you, Nate, but you keep me sharp. You know what I'm saying? Not Alicia, not her daddy, not, God rest her soul, not her mama. You attacking our family. You. So, I guess what I'm saying to wrap it up is, they both been taking shots at each other. I think Stephanie's got a point. I understand why Alicia does the stuff that she does. I understand why. If you don't toot your own horn, who's going to toot it for you? Nobody. I understand why. Me and you have had this conversation offline. With Trump used to get up every morning when he was going to the helicopter to go do whatever he was flying off to do. He would stop. He would talk to the little press.
Talk to the press,
yeah. The White House lawn, and he would say, boy, the stock market opened. It's the greatest economy that the world has ever seen. And, we just did this. So Biden don't do that. And sometimes I say to myself, Biden, you got a great economy. Why don't you do more of that Trump stuff? So, you kind of want when it's your politician, you kind of want them to toot their own horn.
Yeah.
But on the other side, sometimes I look at Alicia and I say, I guess 2024 we cussing. I say, God damn it, do she ever stop with the self-promotion? Do she ever turn and give anybody else any credit? Do she ever come as a humble servant? You know what I'm saying? So it's so frustrating.
All right.
To me. People like the Temptations before David Ruffin, and they like the Temptations after David Ruffin. Alicia Reese is your David Ruffin. Don't feed into her.
I appreciate your call. All right. I agree with some of what he had to say. Again, just from the sense of, because, I see people still trying to paint the idea that somehow, I don't like Alicia Reese. And I actually like Alicia Reese. I mean, I like her as a county commissioner, and I like her personally. So, again, that's why I keep saying, if your thing is, oh, you're objective, that means you hate, then no, you just all on her job. That's it. That's it. Oh, let me go back to the phone. Ron.
Man.
Ron.
You and Nate gonna get enough of lying about me, man.
Hold on. How did I lie about you?
Okay. And if you don't know, an omission of the truth is a lie. Okay. Now, first of all.
What? Well, first, I don't agree with that. I think that's nonsense. But secondly, what did I say? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that because but I want to address Nate first. You know, well, no, it's just addressing you and Nate. You both call me a Republican, and of course, I tell you, I'm an independent.
You are clearly a Republican.
Yeah, whatever. Now, I'm clearly a Republican, but I voted for Alicia Reese. Now,
So?
now,
Republicans
mind
cross
you,
the line.
mind you,
So do
yeah,
Democrats.
whatever. Mind you, when Alicia Reese was up against Kelly Prather, I voted for Kelly Prather because Kelly Prather has done something for me. Okay, now, so fast forward to when Alicia Reese was on the ballot to become a commissioner.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Before you fast forward there, are you
All right.
finished with what I lied? Was that what you're saying I lied on you about?
Oh, no. I'll get to it because I gotta get to where
That's
my
the part
head is.
I'm waiting for.
Okay, I'll get to it.
All right.
Now fast forward to when Alicia Reese was on the ballot. Now I voted for Alicia Reese because generally I vote Democrat. Now I voted for Alicia Reese. Now I didn't get into politics, the Cincinnati politics, until 2017 when I had to deal with some of y'all folk. Some of y'all politicians and everything else. That's when I got into politics. So I wasn't real aware of Alicia Reese.
Oh.
I wasn't real aware of Alicia Reese. So I didn't have no loyalties for her. I wasn't blindly following her. But what Alicia Reese did was put up what she said she would do, and she done more. I could observe her doing more.
She has done a lot.
You know, and now this is the part that in omission is just as well has a lot. Now
That's not true.
You know, yeah.
No.
You know that I had a stroke, right? And you know that I have aphasia, right?
I take your word for that. I don't know it to be a fact, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, so now everybody in the chat gonna know you a goddamn liar, cause no way everybody.
Hold on. Did I see you have a stroke? Did I see you have a stroke? Did I see you have a stroke?
Nigga, okay. Whatever.
Nigga, did I see you have a damn stroke?
You know I had a stroke.
Did I see you have a stroke?
I told you I have aphasia.
That's why I said I will take your word for it. I didn't see it. I'm taking your word for it.
No, and you gave the indication, and you thought I was going to forget about it, but you gave the indication that you didn't know what was wrong with me the last time I called. Oh, he had some medical issues. No, you knew I had a stroke.
Oh, my goodness.
You knew I had aphasia.
Look, number one, I don't know that you had a stroke.
Okay.
I take your word for it that you had a stroke.
So the other thing was, you know, when I had that stroke, it was difficult. But that was when the pandemic first came around. And
When what? When what first came around?
It was when the pandemic came around.
Okay, why you say it like that? I didn't hear you.
The pandemic came around, and I had my stroke. And if it wasn't for Alicia Reese and the way that she put forth that PPP loan and the way she got them buses out there, that is what had got me still continuing in business right now. So I have a loyalty for her for what she's done, and
Okay,
not for what she's done for me, what she's done for everybody else.
Ron, I don't have a problem with you having a loyalty for her for what she's done for you.
No. You said
Can I get the statement out? Can I get my statement out?
Blind loyalty.
Can I get my statement out?
And it was a damn lie.
I didn't even hear what you just said. But go ahead.
Said I had blind loyalty, and it was a damn lie.
It's not.
Nigga, whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Let's test your loyalty.
I got blind loyalty.
Hold on. Let me test this. Let me test this. It's real simple. It's real simple. You ready?
Whatever.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
What did she say personally behind the scenes to Stephanie?
They said.
No,
I don't know.
I ain't talking about no. They said no. That's
I don't know.
exactly. So you're automatically assuming that she could not have said anything that was mean or rude or disrespectful. That nigga, that's blind loyalty. When you don't know the facts, but you already made a decision, that's blind loyalty, nigga. What the fuck you talking about?
I don't give a fuck what she said about her.
We was testing your blind loyalty, which I think we just proved you got.
What she do, what she does for the community.
And that's fine. But that ain't what we was talking about.
I ain't going with Trump because of what he said about somebody. I don't give a shit about that.
That ain't what we talking about. See, you think that we all kind of dense and we can't look at separate issues separately. But we can.
With Trump because we didn't have to pay an arm and a leg for a bag of groceries.
What are you talking about?
I'm going with Trump for that. I'm not going with Trump.
Now you hollered and screaming about Trump.
Loyalty.
Oh my goodness.
And I ain't going with nobody else.
Now you hollering and screaming about Trump. What are you talking about?
You said.
Oh my God.
You and Nate said, and you agreed that I have we have blind loyalties, and I have blind loyalty to Trump.
And I just proved that you have blind loyalty
to Alicia Reese.
I just proved that.
Blind loyalty.
I just proved it.
Nigga, you just proved it in your mind.
I proved it, period.
In your mind. And I just proved that I don't have no blind loyalty.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Well, you proved it. Did you tell me everything?
Yes, I did.
You told me everything. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. What is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with this guy? Well, he had a stroke and he has aphasia. I'm telling y'all, flat out. If you tell me that you had a stroke, don't you know that I had a stroke? No, but I take your word for it. You say you had a stroke, I believe you. I don't know it. I only know the things that I know. I believe some of the things that you said, or I'll take your word for it. You know I got aphasia. No, I don't know you do. You say you do, so I take your word for it. For all I know, you could just be really slow. But you say you got aphasia, so I accept that. But I don't know it. I'm not a doctor. I didn't diagnose you. And this is 2024. You ain't gonna be on here cussing me out, calling me nigga and all this stuff. If you call me nigga, I'm calling you nigga. This is 2024. This is how I'm getting down in 2024. Somebody has called in a couple times when somebody else was on the line. The 213 number, please feel free to call back. Please feel free to call back. I give the energy that I get. Like, did y'all hear Angela on earlier? Angela came on. Neither one of us used a profane word to one another. She didn't call me the N-word. I didn't call her the N-word. We exchanged thoughts and ideas. I asked her some questions. She answered them. She asked me some questions. I answered them. And we both kind of said, this is what I think. If you give me crazy energy, this 2024, I'm giving crazy energy back. But if we respectful, then we can all be respectful. So 213 number, you can call back. And if you're respectful, I'll be respectful. It all depends on how I feel. It all depends on how I feel. I mean, I'm going to be respectful. You might even be able to go bonkers on me, and I'll, relax and let you go bonkers. But sometimes if I ain't feeling it, I ain't feeling it. But okay, back to what Nate was saying. And again, I don't have those same experiences, negative experiences with Alicia Reese. I don't. I don't. Alicia Reese has almost always been nice to me. Only times when Alicia wasn't nice to me, it was Nate's fault because they was beefing. And she didn't know me yet, but she knew I was Nate's brother. And so she kind of came in with a little bit of an attitude. She was kind of standoffish. And I remember her, she had even actually said, oh, am I going to have to put on my boxing gloves in here? She was doing it on the real side on that Saturday when her and Steve used to do the show. And she was doing her segment. And she saw me and she was like, am I going to have to put on my boxing gloves? Because, and she never mentioned my name. But I knew what she was talking about. And then other than that, after that show, and she realized oh, he didn't attack me or whatever. That's what I'm assuming that's what she was thinking. She was like, okay. And after that, we was all right. Well, no, that's not true. A couple times after that, a few things happened, but they were very minor. Very minor. Not even worth mentioning minor. Other than that, I don't have when I tell you zero personal animosity towards Alicia Reese, I have zero. I respect her hustle, her game, her promotion, all of that kind of stuff. I'm not saying she was nasty to Stephanie. I'm not saying she was disrespectful. All I'm saying is, I don't know what happened. I don't know. No idea. That's it. Stephanie, well, that's not it. I am also saying they both publicly took jabs at each other. What I'm calling slight and subtle jabs at each other. Valerie says, I got on a Florida Gospel Fest shirt. I don't have on a Florida Gospel Fest shirt. I have on a Gospel Superfest shirt from Jacksonville, Florida. And ma'am, I don't understand what your point is by bringing that up. I keep telling y'all, they cussed in the Bible days. Nothing wrong with that. Daryl says, wasn't you and Alicia? I said, I'm trying to click on the wrong thing. Where is it? I don't see it now. There it is. There says, wasn't you and Alicia in Florida together back in October for the Gospel Twerk Fest? No. Now, she was in Florida for Gospel Superfest. And yes, we interacted and everything was friendly because I got no beef with her. And if what you're hearing me say by saying they both took jabs at each other, and I don't know what might have happened behind the scenes, I'm telling you for real, if that's what you're hearing, because that's all I'm saying, and you hearing he hate Alicia Reese, you got issues. You got issues. That's the blind loyalty I'm talking about. You did not come up with smithereens. I came up with smithereens. Nate?
Oh, yeah, let me make this real quick. Plus, I figured calling you and talking will help you because you can rest your voice while I talk. That's a joke. So, check this out. Because I thought about this. It's kind of like what I'm seeing today and yesterday and all this week, and really for a while now. It's like what happened right before our eyes with Smitherman. Smitherman went from being just another guy, just a politician, to being sort of a cult figure, a cult leader.
That's true.
Among some people. And I wanted to say this because I didn't address the whole issue. You asked that lady directly, did Stephanie, well, hold on. Alicia went on Lincoln Show and said that woman used God and said God told her some stuff about me. Stephanie did no such thing. What Stephanie said, and I'm paraphrasing, is Stephanie said, I prayed on this vote, and it was actually one of the easiest decisions that I've come to since I've been down here on the commission, and that is to vote, to abstain from voting. I can't support you. How is that? And then she did go into what makes what are the traits of a good leader. How do you take that into God? Don't come down here talking about God told you about my character, because God, you have a personal relationship with God, and my God didn't tell me that. Which is what she told Lincoln. She said, Lincoln, I prayed the night before the vote.
She did
and
say
God
that.
didn't tell me that. First of
I
all,
thought that was
you
really
have
clever
completely-
of Alicia.
Yeah, you have completely twisted what she said. God one time, and it wasn't to say that God told her nothing, or that He said nothing about Alicia.
But people don't put
she
that
did it-
together. People hear God, and if you say God, they believe that everything that you say after that is something you're saying God told you to say that, or God told you to do that. They don't, in that sense, people don't think critically and logically. I think because they don't understand what people and how people deal with their relationship with God.
And Lincoln, Lincoln know how to, what's the word? How to goose something up. How to, remember that guy? I think it was Khalid Abdul Muhammad came. He said, Lincoln, you a mischief maker. Lincoln, he ain't been in radio for 50 years. He's an entertainer. He know when he got something hot and how to, stoke the fires. You know what I'm saying? But I raised that because nobody had really addressed the whole God thing, and then they didn't do it over on the Buzz, at least not the part of the show that I heard. They just took Alicia at her word that Stephanie went down there in the commission meeting and said she had a talk with God, and God told her some bad things about Alicia. And they took Alicia at her word, and they ran with it. Now, I bring up Smitherman because while you were telling that story about how I got you in trouble with Alicia, please tell us, just for my amusement and hopefully for the amusement of your listeners, why you and Chris Smitherman fell out. Did you or did you not use the term smithereens, which I think I coined that phrase?
You did not coin that phrase. I coined that phrase.
Didn't.
No, I did.
You coined. Wait a minute.
You
was the first person to say the smithereens.
You called him the silly man.
Uh-huh.
I called the people who follow him the smithereens.
And he took that as an attack on his family name.
Yes, he did.
Right? Well, let me hang up and tell us the story, because I think it it's similar to how Alicia has taken something that was not said and used that to rally up her base, her cult followers. The same way that Chris had some folks was really mad at you for using the term smithereens after Chris said it was an attack on his family and his father. I think his father passed away. I want to hang up and listen to you.
Well, before you hang up,
yes,
I see Cherie on the chat. She says, it's good to see you doing what you do. And now hearing Nate, just wow. So Cherie Carter is listening.
Oh, all right. I miss Cherie.
Yeah, I always like Cherie. All right. Thank you for the call.
I miss the whole crew. I wish we could get together and have like a reunion. I bet you could make that happen.
I don't know if I could make it happen, but you probably could. I gotta run.
All right, I'm gonna listen. Explain to us how I got you in trouble. Well, now you're saying I'm not the one who got you in trouble, so I can take that burden off of myself.
Yes. All right. Thank you for your call. I don't have time to go into the Smithereen story. Just real quick, it was just I noticed because I be noticing stuff. I noticed when Smitherman was like at the height of his smitheriness. I noticed that he took over the NAACP, and a lot of the kind of grassroots organizations felt like, good, we got the NAACP now. We don't need to be out here, fighting for justice. And they basically was folding their tents, joining the NAACP. And Smitherman would say something, and then that would be it. If Smitherman said they giving us syphilis through the water, all of them would be like, no syphilis, no syphilis. And I'd be like, they not giving us syphilis through the water. Like, y'all, everything he say, really? Red light cameras, no red light cameras, no red light cameras. Okay, I actually agree with that one. But, like, come on, y'all. Do anybody challenge anything that the man say? Ever? I get y'all like him. And he's charismatic and all that stuff. But don't stop thinking for yourself. And no, he was not happy with the term smithereens. I actually didn't know that he didn't like the term. And so he was in the studio one day and I used the term, and the look on his face, I was like, oh, he don't like that term. But I'm not going to stop using it. But I didn't know he didn't like it. And yes, people cussed me out, wrote articles about me. They wrote articles about me and how I was just bashing Christopher Smitherman. Of course, history bore out, I'm not sure which, that the stuff I was saying was correct. And those same people were literally coming on the air saying, well, if that make me a smithereen, then I'm a smithereen. Dave had a smithereen and proud of it. Yeah, people was going bonkers. You hate Christopher Smitherman. You da. And I'm like, y'all shouldn't be giving up, y'all. Y'all shouldn't be blindly following. Y'all should be questioning. Y'all shouldn't be this. Y'all shouldn't be that. You know what you're talking about. And I was hated. The next thing you know, those same people were the people who hated Christopher Smitherman the most. And I never hated the brother. I'm just that guy who don't like to see, I don't know why it bothers me so. I don't like to see people completely lose their objectivity for anybody. Anybody. Nate is my brother, and that I know what didn't sound like a lot, but I disagreed with stuff that he said. He's my brother. 1 year older than me. Grew up in the same house, same parents, a lot of the same experiences and same friends. I disagree with stuff that he says. I'm sure as hell not going to be blindly loyal to somebody else. I'm going to always question and challenge. I don't understand the people who don't. I don't understand people who just say, well, because she said it, it's got to be true. Well, because she said it, it's got to be a fact. Well, you have no idea. I don't understand y'all. I don't. And I know that's the crazy thing about me. I can like you. I can really, really like you. Ron says, you're blindly loyal to Joe Biden. How? I know you just saying stuff. Because, you know. But I'm not. Not blindly loyal to anybody. I challenged that little baby. Something happened between her and a kid. Like, what happened? Like, I had to check into that story. I don't understand y'all. But I got to get out of here. Because, it's Wednesday church. I got to go to church. One of these days, I'm going to tell y'all that Bible story. I don't know why. I don't know why it's in the back of my mind to tell y'all. Ron mad. So you're not blindly loyal, but I'm blindly loyal. Yes. Yes. I've asked you questions. If they could prove Trump did this and prove Trump did that, I'm still with Trump. You would vote for Trump if they could prove that he harmed your family. Well, but he's still Trump. Like, you got issues. That's just the truth. It's not my truth. It's not a truth. It is the truth. Hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Jason says, all that cussing and you a church guy? Again, I don't know what y'all think church is. Church is not about language necessarily. So if I didn't cuss, but I was a power bottom, that's okay. No, I'm a real dude. Sometimes I cuss, sometimes I don't. It's 2024. It's going to be probably a lot more days that I do. Tria said everybody cusses. I believe even Jesus cussed. Oh, now they're going to be mad at me. He said Jesus cussed. I believe he did. I believe he did. But I'll tell y'all that story one of these days. Until then, I got to get out of here. I'm actually running behind, which is a really bad thing for today. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go out, have a good time, or stay home, have a good time. Whatever you got planned or not planned. Enjoy your day as if this was your last day on earth. Some people, that's morbid, but just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. And then when you wake up tomorrow, enjoy that one like it was your last day on earth. All right, y'all. Till next time.